record yeah, the meeting, if it's okay for you.
Yes.
Okay. As you said, it's short, so I will just directly go to the core,
point. Yes.
To the point. Yeah. Thank you very much. Really, thanks, Marina. So tomorrow, as you know, tomorrow I will be doing the defending of my PhD in Paris. And the whole thing is about the learning process that started with you. I don't know if you remember, it was in 2009, I asked you in the taxi that I want to work on performance art, and I want to know what should I learn. And you took my little notebook that I have here, and you just wrote on it Vipassana meditation, and just told me, go to India and do it there on the first page. And I went there, and this changed my whole perception of art. And then this was, and then I tried to do this exercise with my friends. Each time you gave me an exercise, like the first one, the practical one that you gave me, it was in Madrid, and you asked me to go home, put blankets, white blankets on everything, and close the door, stay in the home for 3 days, no eating, no reading, no music, and just sit there for 3 days. So I start with these kind of exercises with you, and then I learned about the cleaning the house workshop, and I tried several times with my friends. And then after that, with some other experience in India, like ATB, we kind of modified some of the exercise. It became a part of our life. Now in north of Iran with my friends, we live together, and we try these exercises on a kind of daily base. So the first question for me is, what do you think of this kind of adaptation of your trainings with our situation? I won't go in the details of the adaptation. I put them down on the book that I gave you in Istanbul. So this is the first question. What is your opinion on this kind of adaptation? And yeah, I will let you talk, and then perhaps
let me answer. So, took me a very long time to come to something which I call Abramovic method. And I felt when I'm doing performance art, this is not just enough, you go and perform in the front of the public. You need preparation, and you need mental, physical, and emotional preparation in order to do that, because you have to build concentration, willpower, and stamina of your own physical body. And for that, our Western civilization doesn't give so much opportunity to learn. I look to the Eastern cultures. When I go to the East, I found the way how they deal with the body and pushing their own limits so much more profound than we do. Because what we do, we depend on technology. We depend on our phones, on the computers, and we actually forget our body. Everything what we do is working from the brain, but not actually, translating this into your system. The body and soul comes together. You can't divide them. And so from that different cultures, I learned so much. And I learned from Brazilian shamans something, I learned from the Theravada monks something, I learned from the Buddhist tradition, and from Indian tradition, I learned from Australian Aborigines, and I combine all that, which I think could be benefit for the young artists who want to do performance, how to actually create conditions for that. And this is what I think is so useful. Doesn't matter if you live in Iran, doesn't matter if we live in the middle of New York or Paris or Berlin. This kind of method is universal and can be used for the different purposes. But in one thing, that if the more energy and more concentration you put into the method, the more benefit you get out. So when I say to you, in your house, cover everything white and stay 3 days without food and without reading and without listening to anything, just in silence, it's very old tradition kind of exercises. Vipassana is another old tradition, but that's incredibly useful, because you really actually in order to go extrovert, you go introvert. You go deep inside in the layers of your soul. And so I think that what you do actually where you are now, it's one of the products of taking this exercise serious.
Uh,
Okay, that's my answer.
okay, thank you very much. So thank you for the answer. And the next question would be, because you actually followed a kind of my learning process since I was 20 years old, and now I'm 33, and I'm saying
Jesus
some.
Christ hears.
Jesus Christ, yes. Yeah, and now I'm trying also to, yeah, kind of teach the method you taught me to my friends here, because, you know, it's easier, much easier for Western artists to come to this part of the world, to Iran, or India, and to enrich themselves with this culture. But for us to come to Europe and then enrich ourselves with with what is happening here is much more difficult. So now what I learned here with you, with Jean-Jacques Lebel in university here, I try to try it with my friends and do my part of the job, you know, to transmit it. Now, to do a good job, I need always these eyes, you know, to have these eyes, your eyes on me, and know what do you think, which are the weak points, my weak points, that I need to work on them more, and what are the points that I have and I don't know that I have, and like we could call it the strength that I should recognize them and then work on them more.
You know, it's so difficult because you are so far and I'm here, and I only have reports from you there. In my point of view, you are really on the great path, because when I told you, you know, when I saw in Istanbul last time, when you asked me what I'm going to do, and I said, "Too, now you have to do living. Now you have to do living." And this was almost like premonition, because the coronavirus arrived, and all what we have to deal is with everyday existence. And this is why you start building the house. So that house actually for me is not just a normal house that you can live in, but is also the tool for the better understanding of yourself. It's actually it's a like an extension of your body. It's a place that you can meditate. It's the place that you can connect with other people. It's the place that you really extend your body into this shelter and become life itself. But performance is very connected to life. It's more connected to life than anything else. You know, theater is not connected to life because it's imagination. The you know, the cinema, you imagine another kind of reality, another world. But when you do long durational performances, and you know, become life itself. And this is why I think that your house, in my point of view, is work of art.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm going to my last question with this house. You know, we are now living and working as a group in this village now, where we build this house that you saw.
How many people?
Well, now we are 6, but 2 others will come. We will be 8 soon, and let's see. The hope or our aim is to turn, because we have an 8,000 square farm. It's a big farm. It was my grandfather's farm, and we start building little cabins, wooden cabins, no. And we want to make it, to transform it to a residency, artist residency, where we can invite people to join us and to have this research on human attitude through art, via art, and each one with his own art. No, we are doing performance art, but we would like to invite all sort of artists and thinkers to come and work all together. And well, of course, this is not a job that we can do alone. It's a collective work. And these days, it's one of I think, at least in a country like our country, in Iran, a collective work is already a crime. No, but it's a hard job. No, it's and you know, when we talk of body art or performance art, we think of a solo work. You know, one we see Marina Abramovic sitting in or being in a gallery alone and performing alone. But we know that it's a kind of collective work. So I want to also have your opinion on this point of this distance or connection between this art, which is mainly known as a solo work, as a one woman work, and the relation of it with the collective work of liberation, of freedom.
But you know, in the past, historically, the collective work was very important. The you know, fluxus and happening start as a collective work. It was not a kind of one person, but they need a collective. You actually, to create the state of art, you know, to create a new movement, you need a collective. Dadaist was the collective. Surrealist was the collective. You know, what futurist was the collective. In the past, there was a lots of artists working individually, but as a collective, creating the statement. They made their own manifesto. They act, you know, in as a collective, and they have the exhibitions together. It also as individual, but also as a groups. And this gives you much more strengths and gives you so much more possibilities. And you need the courage to create that kind of, you know, statement. As a group, you have a much better chance, much better chance. I mean, there is a very strong performance group in Brazil called Grupo Empresa. There are 8 people working together. But then the problem with the group is how to maintain balance between them, individuals, and such many egos that actually the group don't destroy themselves. Because in the past, if you look in history, the groups have the beginning were incredibly enthusiastic and full of energy, then the peak of the work, acceptance of the society, and then destruction comes. Because the egos become obstacle, their own ego, their own, you know, self-importance. And that's very important to learn in the group, that actually you have to give up your ego for the better of the group. And that's a very important teaching. So, you know, that how to act individually, but how to act in the group in the same time without compromise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. I know your time is limited, but I have this little last one. No,
Absolutely.
yeah, okay, thanks. So since these 13 years, each time I ask you uh, a guideline, and you give me a very, very personal guideline, not like Vipassana. It's like, and now in my new, let's say, new step in this path, I'm not anymore alone, and proudly I can say that we are now doing this work in a group. So for this one, I won't, perhaps it's not now, but that you will answer. But anyway, I would like to ask you one of those prophetic guidelines for us.
I have one.
Oh, great, great, thanks. So I want one of those prophetic ones for our group, which are all looking at us now.
Wow. So I really think that the one fact is that in this, before the group was there, everything starts from you. You have the idea to go to India, to do Vipassana. You have idea, you know, to have the house of your grandfather and to have this land and to organize and to invite people. So you have to really take responsibility of being leader of that group. It's very important. You have to lead the group, because you, through your experiencing, and especially for changing through performance art, you're on that position now. And but leader doesn't mean to be above anybody. You have to be equal and you have to be democratic. But at the same time, you have the guiding line. You have the intuition that you have to follow yourself. And by now, your intuition was good till now. and I don't see why I should not continue through the group. So you have to take responsibility of leader of the group. That's what I feel.
Wow.
And you have to soon make manifesto, group have to make strong manifesto and really be open for the other people to come in. They don't, doesn't need to be, artists, can be normal people, can be farmer, can be scientist, can be soldier, can be whatever, because that kind of knowledge and that kind of, the experience they're going to have, they will benefit whatever they work in their own life, any job.
I understand. Thank you very much, Marina.
So
Thank you.
what is tomorrow happening? What kind of title you're going to have?
Doctor. I will be Dr. Omidashemi.
Oh my God. You're not baby anymore, you grow.
Yeah.
I think. So how many people in the doctors in your group?
I'm the only one.
So this is now next step. What you have to do, doctor, you have to really take responsibility of what of all your knowledge till now. And I really wish that my institute, in one point, when you build these huts, can come and we do the workshop together. This could be wonderful.
Oh, that will be
never
great.
been in Iran ever. That's the trip that we should make.
Oh, that will be wonderful. I already talked a bit with Lindsay, and yeah, we hope that it can happen. Let's hope that this Corona stuff will change, and yeah, we will.
Now the show, it's reopened in Istanbul, but again, very limited to so many, only few people can come inside. We can't do the method because of Corona, only the long duration performance. It's very limited, everything. And until end of the year, it's no activity, we can't, nobody can move anywhere. That's how, we hope the vaccination comes soon and everything changed to better.
I
Absolutely.
hope it changed to better, yeah. And I'm still hoping for that that idea of biosphere. You remember, no, the idea of biosphere we talked about.
No, I know. This is something the Serge have in mind, and we have in mind. When we have the good opportunity, we're going to realize. But my question to you: What time you are getting doctor? What time tomorrow?
Tomorrow, the whole session in Paris time, it will be from 2:30 in the afternoon to 6:30 in the afternoon. So it's 4 hours of question and answer between the judge and us and me. And then at 6:30, normally it's done, and then they will give me the title.
So this is morning here. I put a little candle and think of you, and really, really good luck. And thank you for trusting me till now so much.
Thank you for trusting me and guiding me and having me as your baby, as your
Today
student.
I'm 74 years old, serious age. But I'm not celebrating birthday, really. I'm celebrating 80. You still have to wait another 6 years.
Okay.
Then we make big celebration. Okay.
Okay, so then I will come to hug you for this 80 years old.
And greetings to all of you collaborators who are watching, and greetings to you, and big luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Marina.
I don't tell you doctor yet, but tomorrow you're doctor. Okay.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you very much. Ciao. خب بچه استاد رفتن. من میتونم دوربینا رو باز کنم، میکروفونا رو باز کنم، یه سلام و خداحافظی با هم بکنیم، چون اینطوری هم زشته که هیچی با هم دیگه نگیم و بریم. هر کی که میتونه باز کنه ویدیوشو باز کنه لطفا. من الان یه چیز میکنم که بشه این کارو کرد، سعی میکنم بتونم کار کنم. سلام. میکروفوناتون هم میتونیم باز کنیم، هر کسی که امکانش رو داره، که حداقل صدای همو بشنویم. سلام. بذار ببینم چیکار دیگه دارم. ببخشید من دارم یکی اینو باز میکنم، ممکنه یه بذارید. فریبرز عزیز نه اینطوری فکر کنم الان دیگه قاعدتا همه باید بتونم باز کنم. حجت عزیز. خب سلام دوستان همگی. کسی که الان چرا خیلی ها نمیتونم باز کنم نمیدونم چرا، ولی مرسی از اینکه بودید.
خیلی ممنون از شما.
خواهش میکنم. مرسی از شماها که بودید که حضور داشتید.
مرسی از شما.
سلام خانم قبایی عزیز. و
سلام
حجت. من دارم تازه میبینم که کیا هستن. فریبرز عزیز، فریبرز هم خیلی دوست داشتم ببینم ولی فعلا که صداش بسته. خب من دیگه فکر کنم اگه کسی امری فرمایشی بحثی نیست ما میتونیم چیز کنیم دیگه، جلسه رو مختومه اعلام بکنیم. من حتما فیلمش رو زدم ریکورد بشه. بذارین